Regardless of the quality of your lights, always plan on shooting a leader chart whenever your scene lighting changes. The Greytag Macbeth style chart is an industry standard, and many color correction software packages will have automatic color matching for use with the color squares on that chart. It will help compensate for any metamerism due to the light source or camera sensor. For visual effects work, a dedicated grayscale chart can also be shot as a helpful addition in your leader material. An important point on shooting a color chart. You should always remove any artistic lighting tints prior to shooting the chart. For example, if you intend to add blue gels to some of your lights to add some coolness to a scene, leaving that light source active when shooting the chart will cause the white point to shift towards the blues in post. The result will be a neutralization of your intended blue tint and an unnatural shift for the entire scene. So if shooting with lights tinted for creative reasons, you have two options when shooting a chart. One, if the tinted light source provides very minimal illumination of the scene, such as a kick or rim light, simply turn it off. Two, if the tinted light source presents a significant contribution to the overall scene illumination, temporarily remove the colored gel and attempt to replace it with a neutral density filter that matches the reduction in light intensity produced by that gel. Of course, once you've shot the chart, be sure and remember to return your lighting back to the original state. Before we get to lighting control, we need to talk about light temperature. Traditionally, there are two primary color temperatures production lights are balanced to: daylight or tungsten. Tungsten lighting gets its name from the tungsten incandescent bulbs typical of Fresnel spotlights and represents a white point of 3200 degrees Kelvin. Without going into too much of the science, the Kelvin measurements here represent what temperature a non-reflective or black body would need to be heated to in order to display that brightness of light. Daylight temperature lighting, on the other hand, has a white point of 5500 degrees Kelvin, or 6500 Kelvin, or 4800 Kelvin. Well, which is it? The North American film industry settled on 5500 Kelvin for the primary film stock for outdoor shoots. 6500 Kelvin and 4800 Kelvin are actually sunlight values defined by the CIE, an international standards body, and represent average daylight and noon sunlight, respectively. These are averages based off European sunlight, which is the reason for the difference from 5500 Kelvin adopted by Hollywood. So if you're working with equipment from North American manufacturers, 5500 Kelvin is the most likely daylight white point for your lights.